So now you guys touched on this individually, but give me answer this the question a little differently. Who writes the songs? Because it's definitely more. It's the two of you and maybe Rachel. Is that it, or is there more?
So I would, on the last project, primarily Mr. Lacy here is full of a lot of his work, and I would say that he is definitely still the front man, and that is just because we have a lot of fun playing instruments, and Rachel has a lot of fun doing harmonies. But here recently, actually, it's been a little more split up, and we've had a lot of fun being more collaborative with it, and just kind of having like a community pot for songwriting, and just kind of like, hey, I have 2 sentences of this song. Mm-hmm. What do you think? And I have no music to it, and Brett all of a sudden has a drum part for it, and Jay, it's just like it comes together randomly in a second. And so that's been fun. That's been something that's been more recent on these newer projects, and hopefully on the upcoming ones.
Yeah, that's what we did with the EP that we released, What Was Left. That was probably our first really collaborative work. Like the song you played at the beginning, Bones, that was me and Noah hanging out like right over there over our shoulders, and he was showing me a song he wrote. I think was it a breakup song originally?
It was a really bad breakup song. And, just to talk about the songwriting, like we write a lot from personal experiences, and I'm like, I'm happily married. And so, but I thought we needed a breakup song in our repertoire. And so I showed Blake, I was like, does this work? And all I had that I actually thought was good was Until Your Bones. And I was like, that's something. And, he let me down very gently. He was like, brother, I don't think you have the life experiences for this. This might not be in your wheelhouse. And so then, I like old murder ballads, and we got to talking about it, and we just thought that it might be fun to put one of those in our catalog. And I think that's kind of how it happened. Yeah. It was a rejection of a previously really terrible song. That's kind of how a lot of them start.
Well, I think that's universal. I think a lot of bands will say that. This started out as a really crappy idea, and then we collaborated, and it became a lot better really quickly. So, now I said in the introduction to the show when Francesca and I were talking about talking to you guys that I threw out the idea that you guys seem to be kind of a folksier version of Fleetwood Mac with multiple writers, a lot of talent, really nice sound. How do you describe your music to others who maybe or say, well, what do you guys play? What do you sound like? Who are you?
Normally, we'll give them for the genre specification. We'll say we're Americana or indie folk, sometimes folk rock. And then we've been getting the head and the heart a lot lately as some of our comparisons, but we also camp was a lot in our early days. Back in our early days, like when we were putting out like the first 2 songs, people were like, man, y'all sound like Tyler Childers, because he was like huge at the moment. I don't know that I would say that as much now. But probably camp, sometimes the Avett Brothers, the Head and the Heart, a lot of those comparisons come out.
Yeah. Know any others for you?
No, I think he nailed it. I knew that he had those slotted. That's why I went ahead and I deferred to Blake. But yeah, I was the contemporary folk, rock folk, indie folk, things like that. We get a whole lot of other categorizations that I wouldn't say are very accurate, but yeah, bluegrass is one of them. The further north you get, the more likely we are to get called bluegrass. So,
sure.
Yeah, that's always tough to hear because we're not. No. I love bluegrass, but we are not bluegrass.
Yeah, and, well, the further you get away from West Virginia, Kentucky, Tennessee, North Carolina, the more ignorant people are about labeling bluegrass for some reason.
Yeah,
but that's understandable, I guess.